Hi, I'm Bill Crum from the Oklahoman and News OK. I'm with Marion Van Fosson. He's the president of Brookville Equipment Corporation in Pennsylvania. Brookville will be building Oklahoma City's MAPS 3 streetcars. Good to see you today.
Nice to meet you.
And welcome to Oklahoma City.
Thanks.
If you could please tell us a little bit about Brookville's history, the kind of locomotives and other things that Brookville has built over the years, and a little bit about getting into the streetcar business.
Sure. Brookville Equipment Corporation is actually a 98-year-old company that was organized in Brookville, Pennsylvania, back in the early 1900s. We as a company employ about 240 employees. Today we're organized in 3 divisions. One does underground mining equipment and tunneling equipment, predominantly oriented at the coal industry. We also have another division that makes locomotives for passenger rail systems, as well as yard locomotives for a number of organizations around the country. And we also make streetcars. We've delivered to date 72 different streetcars. Predominantly, if anybody rides them in Philadelphia, in New Orleans, or in San Francisco, they've ridden Brookville equipment, either rebuild or original build streetcar, or in Dallas, where we've delivered our modern streetcar, a streetcar that's very similar in construction to the streetcar that Oklahoma City is going to receive.
The streetcar business is one where we're talking about modern streetcars. They've got low floors, they're ADA accessible, Americans with Disability Act. The ones that you're building for Oklahoma City will have batteries, yes, as you mentioned. What does Brookville see as the streetcar business matures? I know you're building streetcars from
Sure.
Milwaukee and Detroit, as well as Oklahoma City, and delivering more to Dallas.
Right. In fact, the modern streetcar is finding a great resurgence with the increase in traffic and the demands of cities and the lives of people who want to live around the cities. We think that the future is very promising for streetcars and streetcar capabilities. And in many cities, there is, as you pointed out, a demand for being able to run in places that don't require catenary systems. That's the overhead wire and a system that goes up and touches the wire to charge the batteries and to provide the electrical power to the wheels of the streetcar. We have a system that is capable of running off wire to meet the demands for Oklahoma City. We think it'll be more than capable of doing that, and that allows the city the ability to not have wires everywhere, especially in the historical areas or wherever they might deem that it's beneficial to not have wires there. It's not capable of running everywhere without wires and charging, but for this case, it will meet your need, more than meet your needs, based upon the stated goals of the city.
And I understand from the city's consultants that battery technology is rapidly advancing, and over the years, the wires that do go up here in Oklahoma City, perhaps some of them could come down as time passes and batteries get better.
Potentially. I'm not going to make a commitment because I don't run those businesses, but we're going to leverage them to the best of everybody's ability.
Terrific. The Liberty is the streetcar that Brookville builds. I believe you're the only domestic manufacturer of modern streetcars right now. Is that right?
Well, there are several companies who build streetcars in the United States. Siemens does, CAF does in some cases, but we're the only ones who it originates. It is the end company is an American company. We meet the Buy America requirements, which is not a requirement under the Oklahoma City
but could be for
program,
future
but it
streetcars.
could be for future streetcars, and we're very proud of the fact that our systems are made in the U.S. With the components that we source from the U.S. to the greatest extent possible. There are some technologies used in streetcars that are just not available at a economical price for the cities of the U.S. But we seek to source them in every case if we can.
What's my experience as a passenger when I ride a Liberty streetcar? Tell me a little bit about the inside, getting in and out, so on and so forth.
Sure.
What might I experience?
The streetcar has an automatic load adjustment, and it adjusts its height based upon a lot of factors, but in order to make sure that you can roll on and off, it supports the Americans with Disability Act requirements, as you had pointed out earlier. You should be able to roll right on and onto the to the car from from the passenger waypoints. You can bring your bike on and hang it up and change so that you can get around local areas when you want to from there. There's plenty of seating, or you can feel free to stand depending upon how far you're moving. There's plenty of handrails and stanchions so that you can stand up and ride the car comfortably. It is climate controlled. We've got air conditioning systems that have proven themselves capable for this kind of climate.
That's a big deal here in Oklahoma City.
Cold or hot.
Right.
and you should find a relatively smooth ride that can easily move you through the downtown here within Oklahoma City and throughout the entire route.
About how many people can ride it? And I'm thinking about the streetcar route is going to go by the convention center, but probably more importantly to folks here in Oklahoma City, by the Chesapeake Arena, where there's concerts, and of course the Thunder plays basketball. Sure. And there's big crowds down there. And I think they're planning a route that will enable people to get in and out rapidly with frequent streetcar service.
Sure. There are a lot of different sizes based upon the size of all of us. I mean, if you stand next to me and I'm a little tubby, you won't want to be quite as close as you might with somebody else. But it will hold approximately 100, and okay. It's plus or minus, and it'll be very fairly comfortable for people. It obviously doesn't have 100 seats, but could accommodate approximately 100 people in the 3-car segment that exists.
And I guess it's very quiet, smooth on the rails. Very
smooth to ride, and at least from the reports that I've had, I've ridden a number of our streetcars, and everybody that's ridden them seems very happy with it, and the comfort as well as the air conditioning, especially like in Dallas and right. Places like that. So it works out pretty well.
Right, very good. One of the things that we've heard, at least I've heard in covering the streetcar, and Oklahoma City has been through quite a process to get to Brookville through another company that was European. They missed a deadline, was that delivery, you can just expect them to be late and so on and so forth. My understanding is that Brookville is delivering early to Dallas, I think.
Yeah.
And you anticipate delivering early to Oklahoma City as well?
Absolutely. In fact, our requirements for Dallas were an on-time delivery when we delivered the first 2 of their modern streetcars. We met their requirements. They were required to open by the 13th of April of 2015, and we delivered our streetcars about a month early ahead of that, actually about 6 weeks ahead of that, so that they could do alignment testing and things like that. And right now we're ahead of schedule on delivering the next set of cars for Dallas. We're about 11 months ahead of schedule.
Wow.
And we're going to pull in the contract schedule for Detroit. And the reason that we're pulling that in is because we're under contract for Milwaukee to deliver. They have a do not deliver earlier than date, so we've cleared a path so that we can deliver for Oklahoma City because of the needs and the fact that they had some delays in their acquisition. So we've created a gap so that we can deliver our cars, and those should be delivered ahead of the contract schedule because the contract schedule kind of aligned with the Milwaukee contract schedule. So we intend to deliver your last streetcar before we start deliveries with Milwaukee. So it'll be ahead of your needed schedule.
Well, I think everybody in Oklahoma City is looking forward to it. Everybody loves the train. I think
it's a great thing.
As you'd agree. Marion Fosson is the president of Brookville Equipment Corporation. They're going to build the Oklahoma City MAPS 3 streetcars. I'm Bill Crum for News OK in the Oklahoman. Thank you.